The night my mother died, the deputy who wrote the report called it a fall. He had eaten at our table twice that month. My family ran a towing and repo outfit off the state highway, 3 yards and 11 trucks, and every man in it answered to my father. 9 male cousins, all of us raised on the same sentence. A man who can be told no isn't a man. My father said it the way other fathers say grace. I watched my uncle put my aunt into a wall over a burnt roast when I was 7. Nobody moved. My cousins learned it the way you learn a trade, by watching, and by our teens, half of them were doing it to their own girlfriends. It was just the weather in that house. My mother was the only warm thing in my whole childhood. She'd sit at the kitchen table after, holding a bag of frozen corn to her jaw, and ask me about school like nothing had happened. Sometimes when the trucks were out, she'd cry with her hand over her mouth so nobody would hear. She only ever asked me for one thing. She'd grip my wrist and make me say it out loud, that I would not become them, that I'd get out. When I turned 20, my father decided I'd stalled long enough. He wanted me married, settled, working the North Yard, living in a trailer he'd already put a deposit on. He drove me to the volunteer fire hall on a Saturday, where the whole county went for the pancake breakfast, and told me to go find a girl who wouldn't give me trouble. I had never been in a room like that. Kids running between tables, 2 women arguing cheerfully over a coffee urn. Nobody flinched when a door slammed. I sat in a folding chair and felt something in my chest come loose, and I didn't have a word for it then, but the word was safe. She was working the syrup table. I'll call her June. She dropped a tray and I got down on the floor to help, and she laughed so hard she cried, right there on the linoleum. And I laughed too, and I remember thinking I had gone 20 years without making that sound. She drew a cartoon of me on a napkin. I still have it. Then I drove home, and there were 3 cruisers and an ambulance in our yard. They let me look at her before they zipped it. She had bruises going yellow at the edges and bruises that were still red. Her wrist was broken in a way you don't get from stairs. The report said she was unsteady on her feet. I left that night with a duffel bag and $1,100. I called June from a gas station, told her I was going north, and that I knew how insane it sounded. She said, "Give me 20 minutes." We drove until the accents changed. Somewhere in Pennsylvania, I told her I wasn't going back, ever. She showed me her phone, 3 tabs open, all of them apartments. We got a place over a hardware store. I got on with a roofing crew, she got hired at a vet clinic, and I started putting cash in an envelope in the freezer for a ring. For a year, I lived a life I didn't know was allowed. Then I came home on a Thursday, and there were police cars all the way down the block. My father was on my kitchen floor under a sheet. June was in the back of a cruiser, cuffed, staring at nothing. He had found us. He kicked the door in with a pry bar to take me home, and when she got between him and the hallway, he came at her. She picked up a cast iron pan off the stove and swung it again when he stood back up. They charged her with manslaughter. The prosecutor said 7 years, maybe 10. Then my brothers came, 4 of them, and 2 cousins. When I ran, something cracked open, and they'd been leaving one by one ever since, scattered across 3 states, quietly learning how to be people. They emptied their accounts for a real lawyer. Then they sat in that witness box, one after another, and told a courtroom exactly what our father was, what he did to our mother, and what the report said instead. The jury took under 2 hours. Self-defense. We got married in a backyard with folding chairs and a borrowed grill. 6 men from my family stood on my side. 2 of them cried. June's due in September. It's a boy. He'll grow up in a house where nobody is ever afraid. He will never once hear that a man who can be told no isn't a man. I kept my promise, Mama.